Hello everybody, I'm Esteban from Gohitsu Shodo Studio, and in this video I wanted to talk about how to read Japanese kanji. Now this is not a video on how to learn how to speak Japanese or learn how to read Japanese. I'm going to give you an overview on how to read a kanji if you are looking to kanjis in a dictionary, for example, or if you see words that you wanted to find their meaning and you need to find the meaning of the kanji. So you need to learn how to read them. And I think this is important for us that are interested in Japanese calligraphy, because we learn how to brush certain characters, but I think sometimes we get stuck in brushing the same characters over and over again. And I think that is because we don't usually learn how to read them and how to find them and what their meanings are. And that it is a little bit learning Japanese. It's not, you can't get away with the fact of not learning Japanese if you want to do Japanese calligraphy. But I figure that there's a lot of trouble out there on reading Japanese kanji because it is difficult. So I wanted to do a quick video and explaining very simply on how the kanji characters are read. But before we get into that, I want to answer two questions that are asked a lot and to me and to people that know about kanji. And the first one is, what are kanji? Kanji, according to the Kanji and Kana dictionary, the kanjis are pictographic, ideographic characters adopted from the Chinese language and used for conceptual words and indigenous names. So what this means is the kanjis are characters that carry both a pronunciation and a meaning, and they were adopted to the Japanese language from the Chinese language. So that's why Chinese characters and Japanese characters are very similar and sometimes almost identical. And it's used in the Japanese language for words and to write their own names. Now you can write non-Japanese names like Western names with kanji. But that'll be material for another video. But I just wanted to say that you can do that. It's not that easy to find the combination. But for the most part, non-Japanese names or Western names are written using the Katakana alphabet. But you can write Western names with kanji if you want to. And the second question is, well, how many kanji exist? We're talking about learning how to read them, talking about learning that we need to memorize these kanjis. Well, how many are there? Well, there are over 20,000 kanjis out there. That is a lot of kanji. I would be amazed if I ever meet someone that has 20,000 kanjis memorized. I'm sure they are. I'm sure there's somebody out there. But out of these 20,000 kanjis, between 6,000 and 7,000 are used in everyday written Japanese. This is mind-blowing. I mean, this means that if you want to read the Japanese newspaper, for example, you need to know between 6,000 and 7,000 kanji. That is just crazy. Out of these 6,000 or 7,000 kanjis, over 1,000 of them are taught in the first 6 years of schooling. So you think about it, from kindergarten to 6th grade, you will learn 1,000 plus kanjis. That is crazy. I mean, that's a lot of kanji. I mean, I don't know how many kanjis I know. I know they're probably not even 100 kanjis that I have memorized, that I know is reading, and I know all the meaning, and it's not that many. And it's really hard. The Japanese written system, it's not easy. The Japanese language, the spoken language, is actually not that difficult. It's very simplistic and it's very easy to learn. But the writing system is very complex. And just to mention really quickly, kanji is only the one of the 3 alphabets that the Japanese use for the writing system. The other 2 being Hiragana and Katakana. And I'm not going to talk too much about those 2 because that will be material for another video also. But I'm going to mention katakana and hiragana later on when we're taking a look at how to read the kanji. So, well, now that we answered these two questions, I'm gonna go through the readings, and there are two readings. Almost every kanji has at least these two readings. And the first reading is what is called ondoku. And ondoku is a phonetic reading, and this reading is derived from the Chinese language. So an example would be shin, and shin is in Japanese, but it will be very similar to its Chinese counterpart. Now the meaning would be truth or reality in this case, and in order to know that this is an ondoku reading, what you have to pay attention is two things. If it's written in Roman letters, it will be uppercase. If it's written in Japanese, we'll be using the katakana alphabet. So as you can see in this example, shin is written in uppercase Roman letters, so that means that it's an ondoku reading. Then the second reading is the kundoku, and the kundoku is the literal meaning. And that is this reading is derived from the Japanese language. So ondoku comes from Chinese language, kundoku comes from the Japanese language. So how do you know that it's a kondoku? Well, if it's written in Roman letters, it will be lowercase, like in the example that I gave you here. And if it's written in Japanese, it will be in hiragana. And in this example is ma, which means true or pure. And we're going to take a look at these two in a minute. But again, ondoku, katakana will be written in katakana or uppercase Roman letters, and kundoku will be written in hiragana or lowercase Roman letters. Ondoku is the reading that comes from the Chinese language, and kundoku is the reading that comes from the Japanese language. Ondoku is the phonetic reading, and kundoku is the literal meaning. Okay, so now let's take a look at the 4 criteria to determine when to use an on or a kun reading, because again, almost all kanji have both readings. So how do you know when you use one or the other? Well, the first is one character words are read with kundoku, and the example I gave you here is kokoro, and this is the kanji for it. And kokoro is a word, and that means mind or heart. That is a one word. So this kanji will be read using its kundoku, so that it would mean mind or heart. And like you can see, kokoro is written in lowercase. Number 2, words with okurigana are pronounced with kundoku. Now let me explain to you what okurigana is. Okurigana is when kana, mostly hiragana, which is the other alphabet, is used in combination with kanji to make a word. So for example, right here I gave you a word with 2 characters. The one on the first one, it's a kanji, and the second one is actually hiragana. So the first character, which is the kanji, will be pronounced sato, and the second one is the hiragana, and that is the hiragana for ri. So that makes the word satori, because the kanji will be using its kundoku reading, which is sato, finish with ri from hiragana, and makes the word satori, which means enlightenment. So if you have a word that has okurigana, which means that it's finished with hiragana, then you know that you will use the kundoku reading of that kanji. Number 3 will be words without okurigana are pronounced with ondoku. So an example here that I have is a word that's pronounced kensho. And both kanji, this is a word with 2 kanjis. The first kanji, its on reading will be ken, and the second kanji on reading will be sho. So when you put those together, you form the word kensho, because both kanjis are using its on reading. And the reason why you're using the on reading is because there's no okurigana involved in this word. This word means to see oneself or enlightenment also. So I'm giving you 2 words that means the same, so you can see that they are different words to mean the same thing. And number 4, personal names are usually read with kundoku. So this is a very common Japanese last name, which is Yamada. And the first one is Yama, which is mountain, and the second one is Da, which means rice field. And both kanjis are using is kundoku to make up the name Yamada. even though there's no okurigana involved. If you pay attention that there's no okurigana involved in this, but it's a name. And personal names are using its Japanese derived reading, which would be the kundoku. So now let's take a look at a kanji that you would see in the dictionary, for example. And I want to show you how to read it and where the ondoku and the kundoku will be placed. So here's the kanji on the left, and on the right will be the first reading, shin, truth or reality. Now shin is written in uppercase Roman letters, and underneath I put the katakana version. So we know that this is the ondoku or the on reading. And the second part is ma, which means true or pure, and that is written in lowercase Roman letters, and underneath I have the hiragana version, so that you know that this will be the kun reading. Now I'm going to give you two works that are composed using this kanji, and the first one is shinjitsu, which means the truth or a fact. Now you can see there's two kanjis in the word shinjitsu, and there's no hiragana involved in this word. So that means that both kanji, the first one and the second one, are using its on reading. Shin will be on reading for this one, and jitsu will be the on reading for the second one. And when you put the two together, you form the word shinjitsu. Now the second example, we're using the kun reading because the first character is the kanji that we're taking a look at, and that is followed by hiragana. So the kun reading of this kanji, we know on the top that is ma. So the other three characters are hiragana. So this word would be pronounced makotoni. Ma is the kanji, and kotoni is the three characters that are written in hiragana. And the word makotoni means indeed or really. So this is a quick example on how a kanji has different meanings, different readings, and how they're all combined to form different words. So I try to make this as simple as I can. This was a quick overview on how to read kanji, so that if you are looking for words to brush and you're looking for other types of kanji and you're trying to learn more kanji to brush, you will eventually need to learn how to find them and probably how to find them in dictionaries or kanji books and things like that. So I think it's important that you have an idea on how how the kanjis are read. So if you want to know more about Japanese calligraphy and how to read kanji, I will be teaching an Intro to Japanese Calligraphy workshop in the fall of this year. I'll be teaching this workshop in Worcester, Massachusetts, and this is going to be a 1 full day workshop, and I'm going to go over all the fundamentals of Japanese calligraphy. So we're going to be going over how to brush the 8 basic strokes, how to read kanji, how to write kanji, composition, how to use the brush, and so on and so forth. Everything that you need to know. If you never picked up a brush before, or if you have picked up a brush before but you have not had a good grasp, or you don't really know how to use it, this is what the Intro to Japanese Calligraphy workshop will be. Just really go through the fundamentals. So if you're interested in this, if you're in the area and then you think you will be able to attend, I don't have the details yet of like the exact location and the date and how much it will be. So whenever that information comes up, I'm going to be sending that information through email. So make sure you sign up to my email list so you can get that information as soon as I have it. And I will have it really, really soon. So head over to the website at gohitsushodostudio.com and sign up to my email list. And I'll send you that information as soon as I have it. And if you're also a member of the email list, you will be receiving my Shodo newsletter and some other unique contents and some other things that I like to send to people that have given me their emails. So you'll get a lot of other good stuff also, not just the calligraphy workshop. So yeah, so if you're interested, head over to the website and sign up for the email list. And also don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get notified when other videos are coming up. And I have a bunch of others working, so I'll have a lot of them coming up in the near future. So make sure you subscribe and stay in touch. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you in the next one.